Hey, what are you doing? It's Gil.
Hello, Julian here.
We're back again after a couple weeks hiatus. Sorry, we both have work stuff always. But we're back.
Back at it like a crack addict.
Yes, I think you've said that before, but
That's
yes,
fine.
we are.
Still, it happens. They go through ebbs and flows just like everybody else in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're crack addicts. Sometimes it's just John.
Oh, I know. No. Anyway, so we're talking about this man's pick. We're talking Old Boy.
A super slap of a movie. If you've never seen it, it's, you know what? It's not made for everybody, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want my grandparents to watch it, that's for sure. But like, that's everything right there. Like, the scenes are fire. There's a little bit of comedy in it if you can find it. You know, it was done by Chan-wook Park. That was the director. The story circles around a man named Dae-soo who is imprisoned for like 15 years on some, bullshit type stuff. But it's literally just it's the greatest revenge movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Because it's a revenge on two different aspects. Because the fact that Dae-soo wants his revenge and Woo Jin wants his revenge, but their revenges coincide with one another type of thing. It's wild.
There's actually more revenges in that movie if you think about it. Because I mean the guy, there's not a lot you can say about this movie, but I will say 4.5.
It's definitely 4.5.
This movie
it's
was insane.
Got him on one.
Yeah,
this man texted me once he finished it and was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "I told you, bro."
I was like,
Old Boy.
Wowzers!
This is, remember, not the Spike Lee, Josh Brolin one.
You're talking about, is it 2001? That's what it was, right?
This one?
Yeah.
03.
Okay, so 2003, and it was Korean. I thought you said it was Japanese. It's Korean.
Did I say Japanese?
I think you might have. I probably said something different.
It's possible.
Yeah, but it's definitely Korean.
I definitely don't know what to say all the time.
Yeah, so when I came into it, I'm like, this isn't Japanese at all. But yeah, it felt like 2003. I felt like I was in 2003. All the scenes and everything, and the way it was shot. I was 13. Okay.
My bad.
But I mean, just the cinematography of it felt very 2003.
The cinematography behind it, the angles that they use, they're all on purpose. It's one of those things where you can tell that, you know how black people have that saying you put your foot in that. He put his foot in this movie for sure. I'm not there's the thing about it is it's this is a manga, whatever people want to call it, but it's also a series. I think Old Boy might be the second movie, I think, in the little series that they have. None of them, they don't, if you looked at it and looked at Chan-wook Park's whole thing, and I can't remember the other ones, and I know somebody's gonna send me a text message about this as soon as they see this, but I do believe there's 4 movies, and they go in a certain order, and they all piggyback on each other essentially. So
no way.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to, for sure. I can't, I wish I could remember the other ones, but that's what we have phones for, so you can just look it up.
Right.
But it's this one. There's another one that this movie, just a heads up, there's some stuff that happens. There's definitely
yeah, I mean, this isn't for the faint of heart.
No.
This movie, you have to have a strong stomach for this movie.
Yeah, there's if you know somebody that's actually watched Old Boy, everybody will tell you, if you ask them about it, there's a scene in the movie with the hammer that's the iconic scene in the movie.
Yeah. I couldn't watch it. I there's eye stuff and teeth stuff I can't do.
Oh, and
it's hard.
And there's both in that scene alone. It's wild. I would say it's up there with in terms of Kill Bill type of violence.
I got those vibes, but I guarantee if Quentin Tarantino tried to do this movie, he would do it wrong.
I mean, I hope nobody ever tries to do this movie again because Spike Lee, and he did it. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so terrible.
Dude, I don't care what anyone says. That man's hit or miss.
Because like the end scene, that's not in the Old Boy with Josh Brolin. They take that whole thing out.
Oh, then what's the point of the movie?
Like, it's weird. Like, it's just at that point, it's just a revenge movie.
Yeah, like why not follow through with the whole thing?
Because we're Americans, we can't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, that's weird at that point. But like at the same time, like I respect the fact that he tried to do it. That means that he actually liked the movie. So that would mean that like he respects it. But at the same time, he disrespected it by making that remake. Like, it's so like there's like I've got 5 movies in my head that like I'm the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life, you know? And that's number 4. Definitely number 4. It's because I have so much love for the original Old Boy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because I was telling you, he's like a brother to me, Robert. He's not going to watch this because he's garbage and stuff, but he's the one that actually told me about the movie. We watched it together, and like the first time I watched it, my mouth was dropped the whole movie. Like, it's like that. Like, I don't mess around when it comes to movies in terms of stuff like that, you know? Like, and the whole time just flabbergasted what was going on.
Yeah, like I've watched a lot of good movies, and that movie definitely was something where I'm just like following the entire time, and it's just escalating, and it does it in a good way. It's not good. It doesn't go too fast at all, and I could see how Americans could potentially do it, like, but like you said, they won't follow all the way through.
No, absolutely not.
But that's the thing. It sucks because it would be Lakeith Stanfield doing this.
Love me some Lakeith.
Exactly.
Love him.
So it's one of those things where it's like I could see Lakeith Stanfield do this.
I think that if Lakeith Stanfield watched Old Boy and then they're like, hey, but like at that end we're gonna cut all this out, he'd be like, nah, we're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you like that's one of the big things about the remake, that like anybody, because it's like in a certain community this is like a cult classic, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's seen it. Like if you talk to certain people, like my friend Kylie, she's seen it, she loves it, you know. Kendra, she's seen it, she loves it. And like it's one of those things where if you love this movie, you love it. And nobody that loves this movie even remotely likes the Spike Lee version of this movie, because it's that like they messed it up. Like, okay, so there's certain scenes where, okay, we talk about this. The scene where he runs into his like best friend when he was like, and like it cuts to them being like, oh, I thought you were dead, and then it cuts to them doing something totally different. We aren't doing that kind of stuff. They're gonna get, I think, in the Josh Brolin one, like they go through like a whole like background story and like they actually talk the whole time, but like we don't really care about the best friend or anything like that. He just went to go see him real quick, catch up real quick, and bounce.
Yeah, because the best friend in the real one was cool as hell. And even though he played a minimal part, you know, he got him into the story where he needed to be.
Yeah, it filled in some of the gaps from the time lapse of when he was in prison and stuff. So, and then it helped him out because it helps give more background about Dae-Soo, because he was low key a piece of shit. Like, yeah. He was.
and I think going in, I didn't make a lot of it didn't make sense to me, because I'm like, how the hell does this girl fall in love with this old dude that quick?
Mido.
Yeah. And I was just like, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those feels that were like, you can be confused at like the beginning of this movie, but at the end, even before the end, because Woo Jin starts explaining things to Dae-Soo and stuff like that, and starts getting into his brain. This is why you went to jail. This is what, like, these are my reasonings for me sending you and doing this and figuring this out, and like I'm better than you type of stuff. So it's one of those things where like everything at the end, like it all comes together and it just makes sense. So like I would guess, like, if you, I don't know, like any Quentin Tarantino movie, that terrible movie Vantage Point, any movie where like there's a plot, but there's like a plot underneath the plot of the whole thing. Like that's what I mean. Like, let's be serious. Wu Jin with the revenge plot from way back, like that's a Grudge. Like think about this. The Grudge started when they were kids, and then he was like, I still hate this dude. As an adult, ruin his life.
And I mean, he had a somewhat of a right to hate him.
Oh yeah, for sure. No. I don't agree with that. I know I just said yeah, but no, because it's going a little too far.
Yeah. And it's funny because I during the scene where that all kind of comes together, I wasn't really paying attention, and it's because like Crystal was trying to get me to do something, but I was like had my eye, so I was watching, but I wasn't listening. And then once the reveal happened, I was like, oh, so that's what happened.
Yeah, there's like it explains everything, why he ended up in prison, who put him in prison, how like it's like, yeah, definitely the best revenge movie I've ever seen.
And the drip aesthetic of Oldboy's apartment,
solid.
Yeah,
solid.
It felt like a real like villain.
I liked their clothing selection for Dae-soo. Like he looked down bad the whole movie, and like the actor who plays Dae-soo, he did a phenomenal job, because like how many actors do you know that are just gonna be like, oh, I'm supposed to be like this lonely, depressed dude that has like I've trained, done a little bit of this, done a little bit of that, but I'm supposed to look depressed this entire movie, sound depressed, give like no reactions to everything. All right, bet. Like there's very few actors on the planet that could do that.
Oh yeah, it was extremely believable. Like, dude did a solid job, and that's where I think it wouldn't really make sense for them to do a new one, but I could see them doing a new one.
I swear to God.
But what? What if someone in Korea redid it?
No. It's like it would be like if who's it? Christopher Nolan did the Batman movies. If like they were like, hey, we're gonna take Christian Bale, we're gonna start doing other Batman movies, but like Christopher Nolan, you shut the fuck up over there in the corner. We don't want to hear from you, because like in terms of Batman movies, those are like the three perfect ones. You know, like don't get me wrong. You know,
I mean the third one's okay. Like, it wasn't like the best.
Get out of here. But anyways, like that little trifecta with the Christian Bale boys, fire.
But now that you mentioned Christian Bale could have did this role really well.
Oh, that's
when he was crazy though.
He's bro, you know he's still crazy. That shit doesn't.
I mean, peak
away.
Peak crazy.
That doesn't go away.
Because you gotta think about it. Here he has like the athleticism.
He's not.
He can fight.
He's unchecked out here, bro. Christian Bale's just out here walking the streets crazy as hell for no reason.
Or Keanu could play this.
Actually, yeah. Actually,
he's just a little too damn handsome though.
That Man of Tai Chi movie. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I watched 47 Ronin though, where he was also supposed to be playing Asian face.
We all know that. First of all, I loved 47 Ronin.
It was a good movie. I don't care what anyone says.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But Dae-soo talks too much for Keanu Reeves to actually be in this movie.
That's fair.
Once you give that's like Man of Tai Chi was cool, but once you give Keanu Reeves too many verbs and adjectives to use, it goes down. The likability of the movie always goes down. That's why in John Wick he says like 17 words the whole time. I don't actually know, but he doesn't really say very much. Just got them blammers.
I mean, it's fair, but then again, like I said, Christian Bale, Keith Stanfield, those are some solid picks.
Christian Bale could for sure do it, and Lakeith Stanfield could.
I feel like Lakeith Stanfield could do whatever he wants. Like,
if he wanted to be Black Superman, I'm sure he could bulk up and do that, and I would love it. I'd eat that shit up.
I don't like Superman movies, but I would watch him in it.
I'd watch it. Superman movies are trash.
Yeah.
You can't do a proper Superman movie because you can't really properly do Superman.
Man, like I keep trying to think of movies that he would be bad in, and I can't think of anything. Freddy Krueger, he'd be good. Candyman, he'd be good.
Lakeith Stanfield?
Yeah.
Any movie that Steven Seagal did. Like, I don't want to see Lakeith Stanfield in Under Siege or Under Siege 2.
I wouldn't even consider those movies. Those are just like long ass TV shows.
Get out of here! I love those movies. Under Siege is my jam. Anyways, Gilbert. I rescind my rating. This is a 5. This is a 5-star stunner. This is a Birdman right here.
You know what? I'll even say it's 5 too. I don't see. There's nothing that will take it from being a 5. Like I said, the cinematography was dope.
They did a fantastic job.
Because it almost seemed like it was on a shoestring budget.
Probably. Like, I don't think really. Like, it's. Here's like one thing to me about like cinematography from overseas is it seems like it could be like on like a super tight budget and stuff like that, but like they could have thrown oodles and noodles at this boy and like we would just be like, oh, but like they could do it on purpose. And like in their own country it could be like, oh, like, you know, this, that, and the third, you know, like we don't know that kind of stuff.
Yeah. In the hallway scene, pay attention to the hallway scene. I want to know how they shot that. I want to know if they just built a long hallway,
because that hallway was a long.
That was a long way. And I was like thinking to myself, is this just on a rail, and they're just kind of moving it? But yeah, that legit seemed like a super long hallway in a building. But yeah, 5.
Solid 5.
I as someone that's never seen it, like seriously, that was like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
It's fire. Like, and, honest to God, is.
Yeah. So that's what brings me to my pick, and it's really hard because there's a lot of picks that I'm always just like, oh man, that'd be a good movie, but and I didn't really want to stay on the Korean movies too long.
Why not? It's our show.
I understand, but I want these guys to enjoy
it's our show.
Also. No, but and the thing is, like, okay, so like Oldboy is one of the hardest movies to find.
It's
so
difficult.
If you can find it,
it's difficult.
It's on Shudder though, so we're not sponsored by Shudder, but I know Shudder has like a week-long trial thing you can do, so you can sign up for Shudder and watch it on there. But yeah, I tried to find it on Amazon, not on Amazon. Try to find it. I tried to get on the YouTube. It wouldn't like YouTube movies. Couldn't find it. It might be on there. I don't know. But
if you Google it, it'll give you selections. It'll give you options on where to buy it at.
Yeah, or if you want to buy it. I'm not the type of buy. I hate buying movies. I hate purchasing movies. But yes, if you can find it, just don't go to any of those like weird websites you go to find like obscure anime.
It'll destroy your computer just like LimeWire did.
Yes. So I have 3 choices. That's in my head right now. One is a given. I know you've seen it before. But it's a classic, and I feel there's a lot of people in the world that haven't seen it, or at least a lot of people maybe who watch us that haven't seen it. Like I guarantee Kyle has never seen this movie, and if he has,
that's a bold prediction.
And if he has, I'm very impressed.
That's a bold.
I'm extremely impressed.
Kyle's seen some stuff.
Kyle, eventually you will find out this one, and if you've watched it before, I'm gonna be very impressed. Kyle's one of like
challenge.
Kyle watches all of our episodes, so shout out to Kyle. But okay, so now it's between 2 movies that are both near and dear to my heart. One, I think you might have seen
Enter the Dragon. Yes, with Bruce Lee, of course. I've seen
it. No, but it's in that same realm.
Oh, weird. That was just a weird guess.
But it's not. So, man,
is it Unleashed with Jet Li?
No, it's so hard because I want to pick this movie just because it's not a classic.
It's your show.
But it's not a classic because
you can do.
I don't think you can find a copy anymore. I can give you a copy, but I don't think you can even find one anymore.
I'll figure it out.
So, but I want people to be able to find a copy of each one of these movies, and one of them I'm pretty sure is on Amazon. So, I'm gonna go with one that I know you've never seen.
Okay.
And it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Got it.
It's called Taeguki, and it translates to Brotherhood of War.
Spell that out.
Taeguki.
You've seen this movie a lot. Okay.
Yeah. I think that was right. Yeah, but I've watched this movie 1,000 times, and
that's a bold.
It's extremely. I found this on like I think like LimeWire or like like back in the day, possibly.
Probably on accident. You're probably looking for porn or something like that on LimeWire.
No, I can't remember. I think I was dating this Korean girl and she told me about it.
Okay. Inside scoop.
Yeah. So, yes, Taiguki. It's really good. You can even rent it from our local library.
Oh, word.
I've seen it at the library.
I'm not going to the library.
I'll get a copy. I'll give you a copy. But yes, so that's my next week.
You heard it here. Taiguki.
Yep.
I've never seen it before. Korean movie. Does it have a horse in it?
Maybe.
Does the horse die in it? Can't watch horses die.
I don't remember.
All right. Whatever. That's fine.
I don't know if I want to give you some context, but
no, I'll watch it.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's the motherfucking show.
Yeah. Ring the bell. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Yeah. If you've watched this movie or if you haven't watched this movie.
If you've seen Old Boy, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, let's talk. Because I want to hear what people think about this movie.
Like, don't do it in the comments or anything like that. Just in case someone wants to, just go ahead and DM me, boy.
Yeah.
We can do a threesome.
Yeah, Instagram. Anything. But yeah, guys. www.antimoviemovieclub.com is where you can find all our socials. We're really bad at keeping up on our socials, and I'm not gonna lie about that. Like, Instagram has been dry, and we didn't even update the last episode. But I will give him the password so he can start answering people because I'm just so busy.
Bet.
But all right, guys, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.